I'm back with another video. Okay, we are going to look at what I did in this book. It's Santa's Christmas, and there. See how it kind of looks gold? Let me see what else I did in here. I know I did like a little jingle bell, and I thought it was in this book. I'm sorry, maybe I should have found it first. There it is. Love this book. There's like these pieces of paper between each piece to keep it nice. Okay, see there how it looks gold? That is just pencil. All right. Now, I am going to use my Faber-Castell polychromos. You can do this technique with any of your colored pencils. I'm going to tell you what colors I'm using, and you'll just need to find the equivalents. This is Dreambirds by Creative Haven. I believe this is one that I picked up at Michael's when they were doing a really cheap sale. And I usually like to lace something between my pages, so let me put something in there. Now, I am going to try to make all these little ribbony areas look gold. All right, so what we have, let me put them in order. You know how I like my lights to darks. Well, come on, fingers, work. There. All right, so if you are using the polychromos and want to follow along, or find a color that is close with whatever pencils you're using. Okay, you're going to want a dark, dark brown. This is a walnut brown. Okay, 177. This one is raw umber. I'm sorry, the light is so good in here that I can't read them. It's number 190. This is burnt ochre, and it's number 187. No, that can't be right. Let me get it out of the light. Yes, 187, okay. Then I have 107, which is the cadmium yellow. I have 101, which is my white. Now, I am going to go light to dark, just because that's what I normally do. Now, when I did silver a while ago, I went both ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a section at a time. There's my white, and I'm going to have it come up here pretty good at the top part, because as you go down it would be getting a little darker, but it goes over, so that would be getting a little darker. All right, next is my yellow, so I'm going to come in here and do some yellow and just blend it in. See how I'm getting lighter and lighter? Blend it in, not totally covering that white, but coming right up next to it. Then I'm going to come in with my ochre color. Isn't that a word? Ochre. And come down through here. Now I'm going to be a little more purposeful on where my colors are going. I am going to come up into that yellow some, but I just won't have as much pressure on my pencil. And these are an oil base. They blend very nicely. I would call them equivalent almost to the Marco Renoirs. They're just very creamy, very nice pencil. Can you see how that's already looking like there's a big shine right there? So you could actually do this with any colors. If you wanted like greens through here and you wanted that reflective light, you would do the same thing. Now this was the lighter brown. And then I'm going to go to the darker brown. That darker brown is going to be right here and blending up into. And I'm going to take that up a little bit. Get my darkest down here, but then do some blending. For blending, I just go lighter as I approach the next color. Okay, so I want this to come around a little. Now I'm going to come back down with my colors, going lighter. Okay, going into each color again, overlapping, but with a lighter touch, and that's really going to help me blend. So I'm going to go into what I just did, and then as I go up, lighter pressure on my pencil. And this is like a brownish yellow with a tint of orange in it. Look up yellow ochre, and you're going to see a lot of what is in that color. And maybe that'll help you find something that's equivalent in what you're using. Okay, so coming on around here. Then my yellow, it's a cadmium yellow. Blending back into what I just did, plus coming down some, blending back into it. Just really trying to get rid of that pencil line. Then going up into the white a little bit. Never fully covering that white. Now I'm going to take the white and really blend this. That's my shine mark. Now, how's that for gold? And all we did was yellows, whites, some browns. So we're going to start with the light color again. Okay, the light, if your light's coming down, see we had that dark there because it rolled around, but the light is going to be at the top, the uppermost part here. I will do as many of these as we have time for. Then the yellow is next to it. Not a lot of blending going on just yet. Okay, we're laying all the colors down. Just get the colors laid down in there. Going right through the colors. I've got 5 of them. 5 is good, I think, for gold because you do need your light and dark browns to really help anchor that color in there. And then you need the color that anchors between your browns and your yellow, and then your yellow. Now I'm going back through other colors again. This time I'm blending. Each time blending down into the darker and getting a lighter touch as I get to the lighter color. Okay, so I'm going to go into the darker and then doing a lighter touch as I come up. Yeah, little spaces like this are a little harder to do, but you can do it. Take your time moving around in there. Okay, then my yellow is going to come down into the other one and then come up, down into the last color and then come on up. I have to really do my ovals sometimes to blend those. Okay, and then my white, because this is where my big highlight is. Really getting that well blended, and I can blend the whole thing in there with white. Now, what if you have an area that just looks too white for you? You can come in with your middle color lightly. Okay, hear me, very lightly. I'm going to lightly come over with my yellow ochre. I am barely touching the paper. But I want you to see how I can golden this up just a little. Okay, that's why I'm going over it so many times, is because I was barely touching it. Now I'm going to come back in with my white and do some blending. I'm going to get the white in the very middle first, and then I can blend out. What it did was it dulled down that bright spot. See how bright that is? And this one's just a little bit duller. There's not a lot of difference, but just a little. So it really depends on what you like. Now, you see where this is folded? This ribbon is folded around, so it's going to be darker back here. So I'm not going to have a highlight shine. I'm going to use these 3 colors. I'm going to come in with the darkest here and here because it's around the back. The owl is over the top, and that's underneath there. Then I'm going to do my next one. And then I'm going to do the one that's the branch between the yellow and the brown, the ochre color. And that's what's going to be right there. And then I'm going to blend them. Now, that's not got very much yellow at all in it. So I am going to come in with the yellow, and let's see what happens if we use the yellow to blend. It does brighten it up a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that. So I'm going to go on back to this one again and go over the top of all of it. And it's just going to push it back just a little, but still give it that golden color. Because we do want it to be a golden color. We just don't want it as bright as this is. Okay? So it's fine to layer your colors to get the effects that you want. Okay? This piece that runs through here, I would probably make the shine right there, even though it's behind that flower. In fact, what I would do is do a shine here. You could possibly do one there too. How are we on time? We're going to go for it. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 shines on this one. We're going to go here, and we're going to go here. I'm going to do a little bit right there. Now the reasoning for that is that flower is over the front of that. So even though there's a shine, that flower is going to be casting a little bit of a shadow. Okay. So all around the shines. Okay. Then the next color. And in here, you're just going to have to be careful and just get in there a little bit, because it would be darker around that flower. Does that make sense? Then the next darker. And we're not really going to worry about getting too much dark in there now, because a flower is not going to cast that huge of a shadow. And then our darker one here. Now we're going to start coming out again with the colors. Okay, there's the darker. Then the next darkest. So whatever your colors are, just work backwards to blend. And I'm doing a ribbon because I want you to see how you can take and golden up anything. Okay? Doesn't have to be a piece of metal. All right? Then the next slider is our yellow. And our next slider is going to be this white. Okay? And I'm just going to go ahead and blend this. Just do some blending. And hopefully this looks kind of gold to you. But see how we still had to leave the shine here to make one big shine through the middle. But then we had to deepen it just a little behind the petals. I know, so much going on. Start with something basic, even if it's just a ball or an ornament or something. Remember how I did this one? Okay, my shine is here. Then I did a little bit of shine down here. And you can't even really see my white here anymore because I yellowed it up. But see, I can come back in. Do you see how that's lightening just a little? So just work on your piece. This one's got more yellow. This one has more white. If you like it with more yellow, you think it looks more metallic-y, then go with the yellow over the top and don't worry about it. Let's do another one. Let's do this big one that's coming right down through here. I would put the shine. Let me turn it right for you. It'll be a different angle for me, but that's all right. I'm going to put my white right through here, right down through the middle of that. Then I'm going to come in with the yellow and go right next to it. Can I see where that white is? No, I'm guessing. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, how does she know where that is? No, I'm guessing. So I'm just kind of remembering that I had it kind of in there. So don't worry about it. You're going to come back up through all the colors anyway. And when you come back up through them is when you'll do more blending. So don't worry about it. As long as you've got some white in there, you're going to be okay. Just keep your colors in order, light to dark, change them out, keep going on around. When you find colors that you really like together, write them down. I am known for having my color swatches. I'm sitting here looking to see if there's even in a set on the table, but there's not. I do color swatches on all my pencils, on my washi tape. Now I'm going back through to the lights. And I even have some on my paints with all my different brands of paints that I own for my crafting. And I'm telling you, I'm going to start one in the back of each section of those swatches. I'm going to start doing a piece like this and writing down the colors so that I can remember, oh, that's what I used to do that. You know, and then whenever I'm looking for that, it's easy to pull those same colors. So, and I'll do a video on that for you. It'll be easy. And see, I'm still coming in. I'll bring this up a little bit. Just make sure you're blending it back in with all these other colors that have gone before. Now I'm on the yellows. Really blend this. And I could have tucked a little bit of brown up under there. You're right. Wouldn't have hurt a bit. It would have been fine. Just going over and over until it blends. If you've not gotten too heavy-handed, those colors should blend. Now I'm very heavy-handed, so sometimes I have to come back in with that darker color and do some blending. In fact, I'm going to have to there. So I'm going to come back in with the next darker color that was right there and just blend this a little bit more because I got too heavy-handed and now I can't get it to blend. Okay, let's just go ahead and go up under that a little bit. We talked about that. There would be just a little shadow there. Just don't do too much. You don't want it to look out of place. Now I can come back in with my yellow and go over, and this time it's blending. Okay, see there? Just bring that on up. Now with the white, and blend all that back and forth. Get that all blended in, and that's our shine. So what do you think? Think you can do that? I think you can. Just start with your white in your uppermost or your brightest area. See how this one curves? The white would be right in here. And what I'm remembering when I do this is that it's the quadrant right inside these petals. Okay? So I just remember what I did, and that way as I start getting darker, I know where to leave my white. I know my white was right in there between the petals, so I know that's going to be good enough. And this yellow comes down just a little bit more because we've got more area to cover here than we do here. So coming up with my darker colors. Yeah, I am teaching a little bit different than what I normally teach on these videos. but it's because we're after a different effect than what we're usually going for. And again, I will try to start doing this on some of my other videos also with other colors, just so that you can see how it works. Okay, moving towards the dark. No, don't go to the dark. Okay. Sorry, not funny. Then what we'll do is, actually it's don't go to the light, which is what we're going to do next. Now we're going to start over and start going back towards the light. Blending, blending. Then the next shade. We're doing good on time today with these videos. This is good. Blending back into what we've already done and getting lighter as we come out so that it'll blend with that yellow in a minute. Yeah. Just really hold that pencil back if you're heavy-handed like I am, because it makes it where you cannot push down as hard. Just not really possible without snapping your pencil in half. Please don't be snapping your pencils. Some of these pencils are more expensive than others, and you'd rather be able to buy more coloring books than have to buy more pencils. Goodness knows we love our coloring books. I have written to some companies, and I'm trying to get some products sent to the house so that I can do some more reviews on different things. And I've decided this year I own some of the Derwent ink tints, and I don't even play with them. And I just watched a YouTube video on a lady coloring with them. Oh my gosh, I have to get mine out and start playing with them. So, wondering if you'd like to watch me experiment with them, or if you want to watch after I know what I'm doing. I may do both. Well, I'll show you what not to do as I mess up. Okay, there you go. See how cool that is? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find something to write with on the table besides my pencils. Maybe the pencils will work. This is a perforated page. I'm not going to finish this right now, but I want to remember what pencils I used, and then I'll make my swatches up later too. So this is 177, and these are polychromos, so I'll write poly down there. And then the next one I used was 180. And this will just help me be able to go back and grab these pencils later. Okay, 187. And then the yellow's not going to show up if I write it down. 107 with the yellow, so I'm just using this color. And then my white, which is 101. White, 101. And that way I've got them written down for me, so that when I do go back and do this fun little owl page, I know exactly what colors I was using. So, all right, there you go. Have fun with it, and I will see you around the corner in a new video before you know it. Bye.